ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Aisha. I'm a certified trauma-informed coach and manifestation guide, and I am on a mission to help 1 million women become their most confident and successful selves with the law of assumption manifestation. And today's video sounds really clickbaity. It sounds like I am full of nonsense, just trying to give you this super secret hack to manifestation, or that I'm giving you this like magic pill, magic medicine that will solve all your problems. Well, in a way, it is a little bit clickbaity. It is a little bit like I am giving you this one solution. However, this is coming 100% from my experience. So when I say that this one affirmation has absolutely changed my life, I'm talking like 2.5 years ago, when I first got really into manifestation, and also like since that point, several times in my life, I have come back to this affirmation. I have come back to this mindset, come back to this concept of myself, and it has elevated me every time. It has gotten me unstuck every time. It has gotten me out of that funky, depressed, low self-worth type of headspace every single time. So at least for me, it has been like magic. It has been like this fix-all, cure-all affirmation. And especially if you are dealing with 3D circumstances, if your world, your environment, the people around you, if everything in your physical experience, if you feel like it's bringing you down, you feel like it is difficult to get through, you feel very stressed out by it, you feel just over it, like you're just over it, you're just so tired of it, you're so frustrated, like I'm talking to you right now directly. If you are tired and fed up with the circumstances, if you feel constantly triggered and you're just burnt out of it, like that is your soul, that is the beingness inside of you screaming at you to do something different, to be somewhere different, to see things differently, to act differently, to express yourself differently, to acknowledge that better is out there and go get it, like make it happen. And I don't mean like go chase it or force it or push for it, but like take care of yourself so that you can get there, so that you can get yourself to that point. So I won't keep you waiting the whole video, okay? I'm not going to drag this out any longer than it has to be, but I do really want to preface using this affirmation before I give it away, before I just jump to it, because I think a lot of times we do treat affirmations as if they're just this fix-all, that like saying the affirmation is gonna get you what you want. Like by saying you are confident, suddenly you'll become confident. And like you don't have to actually take any action or believe it or whatever. Like a lot of times affirmations are sold to you as if they are this fix-all, cure-all. Like, you know, when you have a headache and you take a Tylenol and your headache goes away, literally like a magic pill. But I will say that it's not saying the affirmation, even in repetition, it's not saying the affirmation that changes your self-concept. It's believing, absorbing, embodying the affirmation that changes you. So I could walk around saying I'm a confident person, and yet if like 99% of my day I'm not acting as my most confident self, I am doubting myself, I am filling my head with all these other thoughts, the affirmation won't work. Like if only when you're saying the affirmation is the only time during the day that you actually are acting that affirmation out, being that affirmation, embodying it, then it's not going to work. It's not going to change anything. But when that affirmation is attached to your attitude, as in, if I'm affirming that I'm a confident person, like I'm going to dress in a way that makes me feel confident. I'm gonna walk out my door in a way that makes me feel confident. Like as I'm walking down the street, as I'm like, I just went grocery shopping, so as I'm like pushing my little cart, my little trolley through the grocery store, I am carrying myself in a posture that shows me, because who cares about what it shows the other people around me? I'm not doing it for the other people around me. I want to feel confident for me. I want to dress nice for me, because when I dress nice, I feel like my most confident self. So when I have my shoulders back and my chin forward and I am just out in the world carrying myself as if I am the most confident version of myself, I'm bringing that affirmation to life. And that's the key a lot of you miss. You think, I'm just going to tell myself that I'm really pretty, and then when I go out and interact with other people, I'm going to look for evidence that says, oh, I'm actually ugly. Like, and you're not consciously doing this. That's the problem. Like, you're not consciously like, let me look for all the ways to tell myself that this new affirmation, this new identity is wrong, is not where I'm at. Like, your brain is just wired that way. If you constantly feel like you're struggling with money, and then you affirm for like 5 minutes in a day that money loves you, money's coming for you, money's always there for you, but then again, the rest of the minutes of the day that you are alive and out in the world, you're stressed about money. You're like, oh my gosh, this bill just came up. How am I going to pay for it? And oh my gosh, like my job didn't give me this bonus I was expecting. How am I going to afford this vacation that I just planned? Or like whatever situation you're in, like you're constantly looking for stress. You're looking for reasons to not trust money. You're looking for like reasons to affirm, to confirm rather, what you already believe to be true dominantly. Okay, dominantly. What you talk about, how you act, how you feel, how you think, most dominantly, most predominantly, the majority of the time, is what you get. That's what you get. So if only 5% of the time you feel like money's there for you, and then 95% of the time you feel like money is not there for you, your reality is only going to show you money being there 5% of the time. And it's going to show you money not being there 95% of the time. And then as you start to grow your confidence in money, automatically the old story shrinks. And then eventually you get to this equal space, which a lot of you get stuck here. Been there, done that. Wrote a book about it, literally. It's just not released yet. And you get stuck in the 50%. So 50% of you believes the new story, and 50% of you believes the old story. And that's what we call hot and cold circumstances, or feast and famine if you're talking about money, or yo-yoing, which is like that back and forth, or just inconsistency in general. You see it sometimes you see the opposite. That is the most powerful, most important time for you, because if you give up, if you do not persist, and this is why every single manifestation coach will beg you and plead you, please persist, just keep going, keep doing it, keep showing up, keep telling the new story. The only way to get out of that 50% threshold and get the new story up here and the old story down here is to keep affirming the new story. Because you can't just pour the new story on top and this stays the same. You only have 100% consciousness at all times. So automatically it goes like this without even trying. So even if you don't stop telling the bad story, but you double down on telling the new story, right? We have 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 8 of them, you have about 16 hours of waking time to use. If for 8 of those hours you're telling the new story and 8 of those hours you're telling the old story, you're going to stay here. But if 9 hours of the day you're telling the new story and only 7 hours of the day you're telling the old story, eventually it's going to keep going in that direction. And that's the whole idea, is the more that you say the new story, the less the old story has power. And here's the other thing. If you're starting here, and this is new story and this is old story, and old story is so dominant, it's so strong, it's so powerful, it is your automatic response. Your brain goes back to that story like clockwork every single time. If that's the case, okay, instead of focusing on like dumping the new story in and trying to program the new story in, how about we do instead focus on telling the old story less, complaining less, noticing it less, like ruminating on it less, being bothered by it less, being triggered by it less, responding and reacting to it less, until that old story doesn't feel so big. It automatically gets replaced with a new story naturally. So like there's two ways to beat this new story into your brain and remove the old story, is like yes to the new story, more of that, and no to the old story, less of that. Sorry, my nose just got itchy here. Okay, so now that we understand the idea that like an affirmation is not this fix-all and only affirming part of the day is not going to get you results, now I'm going to go ahead and reveal to you this affirmation that absolutely changed my life. And then I will go on to explain the attitude that I had to present out into the world to make sure that this affirmation was my being, was my identity, or is my being, is my identity, because I still use it to this day. And that affirmation is, I deserve better than this. And it is so simple. And I know a lot of you are gonna hear that phrase and like immediately your brain's like, oh, but that's such an egotistical thing to say. That's such a selfish thing to say. Like, that is your conditioning from society or from your parents or from somebody in your reality. Somebody told you, or you picked it up subliminally one time, over the course of a lifetime, whatever, that it's a bad thing to know that you deserve better. Like somebody somewhere told you, like, who are you to want better? Who are you to want who are you to want more money? Who are you to want a raise? Who are you to want a promotion? Who are you to be confident? Like, and let me tell you a little story, quick tangent here, which actually kind of integrates into the lesson anyways, so it's perfect. When I go out, especially if I'm dressed fairly nice, like I'm not wearing anything crazy, I've got a cardigan on, a nice little cover-up undershirt, obviously like my head cover, a skirt and some boots, like black skirt, black boots. Like I'm not dressed super fancy by any means. I'm not wearing something that like particularly stands out in a crowd outside from like, it's a pretty red. But you get the idea. And yet, when I walk into a shopping center, when I go shopping at the grocery store, and I'm carrying myself in a certain way, and I've got a smile on my face, and I'm feeling good, I get two reactions from people. Like, either it's a complete non-reaction, or I get one of these two responses. Half the people will smile at me because I'm a fairly young, healthy, pretty woman, and I have a smile on my face, and I'm happy to be out there, and happy people love to see other people happy. So of course, like, they will, like, this sweet looking older lady, like, I feel like she looked at me and it, like, at least this was my perception, it like reminded her of like when she felt young and healthy and pretty and happy. And like, I felt like when she smiled at me and she looked me in my eyes, like that was the message I received from her, is like, thank you for reminding me what it felt like to be youthful and joyful. Like, and that was just so sweet. And like, that's so inspiring to me to be able to do that just by being a confident person and carrying myself in such a way that like, I know that I deserve to feel this good all the time. And it makes other people feel good too. Like, I love that. I love that. And so like half the time, that's the response I get from people. People are like, oh wow, like a nice young pretty lady is having a good time, and that makes me happy because we should all be happy and great. And then the other 50% of the reaction I get is like, who the F are you? Like, why are you so happy on a random Tuesday afternoon? Like, who are you to be this excited about life? You're at the supermarket. Like, what's the big deal? Like, that's the kind of, like, I get that kind of like pushback, that resistance from them. And what I understand from everyone is you pushed out, it means that that is for one, that's how I'm reading their body language and how I'm reading their eye contact and how I'm reading their facial expressions. However, it's also their own self-concept, because I remember when I used to have low self-esteem and I saw confident people, it made me want to shrink. And it wasn't always like, oh, who are you? Sometimes it was like if I saw someone being like very showy, very out there, like kind of overly pushy with their presence, it did a little bit feel like, who does she think she is? Kind of like a, I don't know where your ego got so inflated, but you're just a normal human. But I'm not really talking about that time, like that kind of experience. I'm more talking about when someone walked in the room and they were genuinely confident. Like their light shines so bright that when I was like a young teenager, and especially when I was like, 14, dealing with body image issues, and I looked at a woman or, even someone my age that went to my school come into the room and like they're skinny and they feel good about themselves and all these things, which like at the time was like on the pedestal to me. I remember just feeling that like, ooh, like I don't feel good about myself. Like you feeling so good about yourself makes me have to acknowledge that I don't feel good about myself. And I remember that. And so noticing now these two very opposite responses to when I come out in the world as my most confident self, it makes me recognize like there are two major ways to respond to that. And those ways that they're responding is based on their own self-concept. Like I notice, and this is just my observation, I'm one person living one experience, but I notice the women who don't take very good care of their outward appearance. Like they're kind of in clothes that are not well fitting. They might even be kind of dirty sometimes. You can tell that they're really old and worn. They don't really have, like if they do their makeup, it's like really bare minimum and it's kind of not well done. And this is not judgment. Everybody's at their own time and space in life. And, hopefully they think they look good. I really hope so. And I'm not one to judge other people on how they look. At least I try intentionally not to be that way because I recognize it's not the most helpful thing. But the vibe I get from them is like they just don't love themselves very much. And it tends to be also women who very obviously are not in a good health physically. And even sometimes mentally you get that vibe from people that they're just not mentally, physically, spiritually well. And their outer appearance is a representation of that. And it's like, those are the people who are looking at me like, who are you? Like, why are you looking? Like, why are you walking in the supermarket like that? Like, why are you dressed like that? Like, why are you so put together? Like, who are you to be so happy? You know what I mean? Like, those are the types of people, and women especially, that I get that vibe from. Whereas even like I said, the older woman, you could tell that she fixed her hair up. Like she was wearing a little bit of makeup. She picked out an outfit, like it was definitely like an old lady outfit, but it was cute. It was put together. And you can tell that she put effort into herself, and like her smiling back at me like was just an expression of her own self-love and her own self-worth and the value that she sees in herself, and that bleeds into the world when you have that self-concept. So again, like this whole side tangent was to illustrate that like I don't just say I'm a confident person, like I go out and I behave this way. And however people react, it doesn't matter to me. I go out and I behave this way for me because I deserve to feel good. I deserve to leave my house and run my errands and feel really good about myself. I deserve to wear clothing that makes me feel confident about my body because for many years I didn't have that. And again, this affirmation that I deserve better than this came from that place. Oh my gosh, my nose is so freaking itchy. I'm so sorry. It's like this one spot bugging me. Okay, my nose doesn't itch anymore. It's not itchy. My skin is so smooth and so soft and it never itches. That affirmation was born of one of the darkest times in my life where I didn't feel confident in any way, shape, or form. Like I had been in my previous marriage and it was really painful and it was so triggering, and like I was drowning in my trauma, and like I avoided looking at myself in the mirror. I hated clothes shopping. Like I would wear baggy sweats and hoodies, like leggings and t-shirts. Like I just didn't put any effort into myself. And now that it's come full circle, where like the women who look and act and carry themselves the way I used to are the women who are looking at me like I have the audacity to be confident. Like, it's just, there's not a coincidence in life. Like, it's really solidifying the lesson for me that I've done the work, that it wasn't just me saying the affirmation, it was me also choosing to carry myself in the world, knowing I deserve better than that. Knowing I deserve to be healthy, I deserve to love myself, I deserve to feel good, I deserve to go out and look my best, like present my best to the world. Because when you are your best, good opportunities come to you, like good people come to you. It's a feeling, it's a vibe. Like, you know, I can go out in public and I see certain people, the way they're dressed and the way they're carrying myself, I can look at them and know I'm probably not going to be friends with you. Not passing any judgment involved, but like, you just don't look like someone I want to associate with. If you are not well kept and, excuse me, you're like dressed like a hooligan, okay, like you're dressed like someone who maybe doesn't do good in this world, I'm probably gonna stay far away from you. Whereas if you're dressed very clean and you look very classy and smart and like you respect yourself, like I'm totally gonna vibe with that. Like I love giving women compliments when I see that they've put together a cute outfit. I'm like, that's a cute skirt, your earrings are cute, like yes, I want to see more of it. I want to see more of confident people taking care of themselves, showing up in the world as their best selves. I really want to see that. I love that for everybody who wants to win like that. And so I know that this video is dragging on. I'm wrapping up my point. My ADHD is on lock. We are under control. But basically, like, just knowing that I deserve to have this experience, knowing that I deserve to not be depressed. I deserve to not be anxious all the time. I deserve to be treated with respect from my partner. I deserve to have my emotions listened to by the people that I love. And it's not even a need for validation, it's a need for support. It's a need for like having that human need of being able to turn to someone for support, and they're there to support you. Like that is a basic human need. If you do not get this as a child, you will have mental health issues. That's why like 99% of the population has mental health issues, is they don't feel supported. They don't feel like their feelings matter. They don't feel like they are right in how they feel. They don't feel like there's a way out, somebody helping them, somebody looking out for them. And so like knowing that you deserve that is the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself. To look at your circumstances and go, I deserve better than this. Like if you're working a minimum wage job right now, or you're working at a job where like maybe you make good money, but you get treated really poorly. They expect you to do like overtime every single week. You don't get bonuses, you don't get raises, you don't get acknowledged for your work. Like everybody kind of piles things on you and you get blamed for other people's problems. Like looking at that circumstance and going, I deserve better than this, I promise will get you out of it. Like acknowledging that you deserve better than being treated a certain way will force you into a different environment. It will force you to make the changes. It will force you to become the person and act it out as if you do deserve better. Because if you believe that you deserve better than minimum wage, you best be out there manifesting another job that pays you better. If you believe that you deserve better than your friend is treating you, you best be open to finding new friends and distancing yourself from the friends who are not treating you with kindness. If you are living with your parents even, and your parents are not respectful of you, they don't have boundaries for you, they're yelling at you or, being abusive towards you, you best be looking for a way to distance yourself from them and get out of their house and take care of your needs so that you're not living in those circumstances anymore. You are choosing every day with your consciousness, with your focus, your awareness to stay there. And if there's an inkling in you that says, I deserve better than this, don't say I deserve better than this and then do nothing about it. Don't say I deserve better than this and then just sit there and complain. Don't sit there and settle and stew about it and be upset that you're not getting what you feel like you deserve. if you're not actually actively changing your relationship with that environment, changing your relationship with yourself, overcoming your fears and limiting beliefs, and like taking on whatever challenges you have to take on in the 3D to get out of that. Like, there is no one to change but yourself, and nothing changes if nothing changes. And every single time that I hit rock bottom in my life, every single time that I was in a stressful situation, either with other people or like my home life was stressful, or even just like my internal, sorry, I got something in my eye. Even just my internal world was stressful and difficult for me to experience. Acknowledging, repeating to myself, I deserve better than this, is what led me to where I am today and who I am today. And now when the circumstances are showing me what I don't want, I reaffirm that belief in myself. Like, actually, I deserve to feel really good right now. Even if the whole room around me was burning down and I lost everything, God forbid, we're not manifesting that, okay? But even if, and I have started over from scratch, I have pretty much like left my hometown with nothing to my name but like my car and my important documents and like a handful of clothes, right? I have really started from scratch. I have started over. So I know what that's like. But even if you feel like that's what it's going to take you to get to a new place, like, honor that. Act on it. Like, embody the state of I deserve better than this, because all of the chaos around me does not mean that I don't still deserve to feel peace inside of me. So like I said, the whole world around me could be burning down on fire, and I'm still going to say, you know what? Despite the circumstances, I deserve to feel good. I deserve to be optimistic. I deserve to remain faithful to my my happiness, my joy, my confidence, my success. I deserve that much. Like, I deserve that. So I'm going to give that to myself. If the world is painful, I'm going to give myself permission to be at peace. If circumstances are stressful, I'm going to give myself calm, because I deserve that. And like, again, don't just say you deserve it passively and then accept all the crap in your world. Like, pardon my language. Don't just keep accepting less than you know you deserve. If there's a mustard seed of belief in you that says you deserve better, then you do. And act on it. Move on that. Like, walk by that faith. Like, you know, move your feet in that direction to prove it to yourself. You're not proving it to the world or your specific person or your boss or your friends or your family that you deserve better. You're proving it to yourself. And at the end of the day, that is all that matters, is proving it to yourself. Trusting yourself enough to make that a reality. I know that this video was helpful. I know that everything that I told you is like sinking into your subconscious. It is flowing through your veins. It is creating new synapses in your brain right now. Your brain chemistry is changing from everything that I am teaching you. And I know that you deserve better than whatever it is you're tolerating. I know that you deserve better than whatever your poor circumstances are showing you. I know that you deserve better than whatever self-worth and treatment you are accepting in your reality. And I know that you know that too. So thank you for watching. And if you have not yet joined the Confidence Club Premium membership, it is a place where we can get together and get deep into these lessons. Like, this lesson right here is one example of like how deep we're getting in the Confidence Club Premium membership. Every video is like this. Every video is like to the core. It is exactly what you need to hear. It is a confidence booster. It is all the secrets, all the magic that I have learned on my 4-year manifestation journey packed into this membership for only $19.99 a month. And that is a steal. Like, you have to understand that every month that you subscribe, more and more videos and more content is being put into this container for you to consume, and it's something that you can constantly go back to for support. We will also have live coaching videos once we get like more members. It'll become a regular thing. That way you can actually get this one-to-one experience, have your questions answered, and reach your manifestations faster and with more confidence, which is the whole idea of this. Like, we want fast, we want easy, and we want to feel good about it. So thank you again for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.